Hello, everybody. This is Purge, bringing you guys a replay coaching session. Somebody sign up for. Guy's name is his in-game name is Road to 1K. Currently, this is the guy we're watching. He is 700 MMR, and some information about him. I started watching a lot of guides when you realize your MMR was low, and you know your mistakes, but you're having trouble raising your MMR. You have a feeling, concerning the things you know about Dota, how much effort you put in, that your game should be better and your MMR is higher, but it's clear that you're doing things wrong and you don't see what you should change. So it says you're saying you're playing a lot of mid now because you feel like it's a role where you can have the most influence on the game, which is in some ways true, yes. Questions: when should you fight or farm? Should you be more aggressive in lane? Sometimes you have the feeling you can't trade well with opponents, which is probably matchup based, or if they're better than you or something. You know something about objectives, but it feels like you can't fulfill them and you're having trouble transitioning from the early game to the mid game. You're saying sometimes you have a good start, but then you throw it completely as the game progresses. You don't do a lot of kills or actions, although your level in gold is really good. So basically what it sounds like is happening to me is that you're focusing well on winning the mid lane, but you're not able to transition that advantage into making the game go better. So not only will we go over the replays, of course, but what would probably make what would probably help you a lot is if you go watch the Learn Dota episodes on creating action. And let me find the name of the other one quick. There's two basically. They have to do with pushing the lane is the main one. Pushing the lane and how to like set up and find kills in the mid and late game. Because what's probably happening is you're probably laning well and you're probably getting good levels and farm in your lane relatively, but you're not setting up ganks, and ganks aren't happening naturally, and that means that you have this net worth advantage, but they're just kind of farming in their side of the map, you're farming on your side of the map, and maybe you group and push a tower sometimes, but what happens is you're probably not doing it quickly, and you're probably not ganking as you do it, which means that players are able to react to your guys' rotations and take decent team fights, basically. Where the heck are my playlists? Sorry, 1 second. Playlists. Learn Dota. Where are we? There we go. Alright, so the episodes you need to watch are probably ganking would be good, creating action, and late game tempo. Those are episodes 10, 11, 12 are the good ones to watch, probably. Farm efficiency, I'm sure, would probably be helpful too. All right, let's hop into the first replay. Playing Monkey King this game. Says you're not familiar laning against Visage. You should have bought back when they took the racks. I don't know if we'll get to the late game, because often I generally prefer to focus on like early game stuff to help you guys get ahead, but maybe I do that too much. So we'll take a look at how your early game goes. All right, you got the items that you typically get, and as a mid player, I don't know if you need this extra tango. In fact, this is way overkill. You don't need 2 sets of extra tangos, and the reason is because, like, you can, if you just had 1 set of tangos, I wouldn't have criticized you much. It's fine to just get like a little bit extra, because usually mid players do buy an extra set of regen, other than they shared tangos to go to the mid lane. But the one other thing you're missing is an Ironwood branch, and something I need to teach Slacks too. But basically, the purpose of the Ironwood branch is so that when you're laning in the mid lane here, let's say you're standing here and you're getting last hits and you're getting harassed, you need to heal. If you need to run all the way over here to eat your first tree, and then all the way back, you're going to miss at least 1 last hit or deny, maybe 2. It takes a long time to do that without boots. So the purpose of bringing the Ironwood branch is that if you're in the mid lane, you can just plant the tree and eat your first tango. And it also makes your first tango go twice as long, because usually you just have these 2 tangos to elongate your initial tango usage. So not only does having the Ironwood branch allow you to not have to walk back and forth, but it extends your first shared tango to make it to help make your second shared tango last longer. So you not going to the mid lane without an Ironwood branch makes these a little bit worse, but it's better in some ways because you have these tangos, but that's also nullified because now you're gonna have to do extra walking. So all of this extra gold that you spent on tangos are basically unnecessary. It's fine for you to buy an extra one, like 1 extra one, but I think 2 extras is overkill. I see that you're buying Wraith Bands, which is good. Monkey King definitely cares a little bit about he cares a little bit about fast movement speed, potentially. That way you can harass and chase down your opponent in the mid lane. But considering it's a range tier like Visage, and Visage has movement and attack speed slows. I don't know if you're going to be able to trade super well against him. It's hard to say. Blocking was obviously not great, but it ended up okay. You don't necessarily need to sit here and cancel your auto attacks that much. Try not to right click him so much, you're aggroing the creeps too quite a bit. This would be a good time to eat your first tango. Seems like you're last hitting really well. For your MMR, you're definitely last hitting extremely well for it. Yeah, it seems like you just have, like, you're much better at last hitting than your MMR suggests. It's definitely what's happening. So my guess is that you've done a good job. Make sure you should nuke for this probably. You should have used your spell, because it's worth it to make sure that you get your levels a bit faster. Should be eating a tree probably while you're here. What is something that would be worth doing? I think that deny was fine. Definitely should have had a tree going by now, because now you're missing a lot of health. So I'm not necessarily saying you should get a fast boots. I think getting more base agility or more attack speed and agility would be good. Oh, this is not worth it. Finish your Wraithband first. What's the purpose of bringing these two items out if it's not completed? You were very close to finishing it. The difference is you get one more agility. Well, you get one more of all stats. One more strength, one more agility, one intelligence, and you most importantly get that extra 5 attack speed, which is a really big deal on Monkey King. It's part of the reason that Wraithbands are so good on agility heroes. It's because they give you good stats, but they also give you a big attack speed advantage. You should have been hitting this guy 4 times probably, because he was up here and he gave you the opportunity. Because once you get the 4th hit in, you can stun him and you do a lot of damage. And Visage's armor is really, really low at start of game, so you would get a lot of heal back. I guess he's got Gravekeeper's Cloak, so maybe not, but it probably wouldn't be bad. Here's the other issue, is that your combined items now aren't going to take up all of the space. So basically what you're doing right now that's decent is that you are doing a good job focusing on last hits and denies. One thing you're doing terribly at is you haven't used a single tango yet. You came to lane with 8 tangos, and you've been missing health this whole time, but you haven't actually used a tango yet. Like, if this guy had Soul Assumption, you die there, 100%. And the fact that you're now regenning at this point, when your life is already this low, this means you're basically out of the lane now. You can't reliably come up and continue to last hit, because if he just uses Grave Chill on you again, you're going to die. And now you're forcing yourself to buy a healing salve because you know that you're too low to lane. So now you're forcing yourself out of the lane only because you kept forgetting to use your tangos. As soon as you start taking damage and missing like 100 health, you might as well eat a tango, because the tango is going to heal you to full. So now instead of last hitting, you're going over here to grab the rune because you have nothing else to do. You missed quite a few last hits here. You got a decent nuke off there. That was a new harass from the opponent. And now you need to go use your tangos more. I think it's okay to wait until you push potentially, but again, same thing. Okay, good. Eating your tangos. Lost a last hit because of it. You have your Wraithband sitting. Getting these slaps in on him are kind of nice, but ultimately not going to make that big of a difference. And he's just giving you these like massive trade disadvantages because of your regen. But in reality, if you'd kept your health full and you'd started doing these trades against Visage, you would have just been you would have been doing what he'd do to him. You would have been limiting his regen and his ability to farm. Instead, you put yourself on the back foot this whole time. And now you're probably dead. It was probably the wrong stun target, because Ogre had already used his stun on you. He had already used both his spells, so that meant all he's going to do is right-click you. The scarier right-clicker in this case is probably Visage, so it would have been more useful for you to use your stun on Visage. So like, you've got really good last hitting timing and stuff like that, but basically you've just ruined your lane because you didn't use your tangos when you were taking damage, and because you didn't really go aggressive on your opponent when you had the opportunity a couple times. You kind of just focused on the lane. So he's essentially already beat you a bit in the lane just because of him being able to harass you a decent amount and you not really going for kill opportunities. But it definitely seems like your last hitting is very solid for your MMR, which is really good. This is great. A little bit of harassment. Again, maybe you should have gotten Boots of Speed a little bit earlier. Getting it now is fine, I guess. You could have stunned for that. Could have stunned it and hit him a little bit. Would have probably been worth it since your mana's full anyways. The only downside is then it limits your ability to stun that guy, definitely. Should have stunned him. If he's going somewhere to teleport, he wants to go do something to your allies, or he thinks is going to matter. So if you interrupt that stun, it's going to limit his ability to do that. Yes, he leaves the lane, but you should be able to kill him in lane anyways, right? You're saying he's missing. You could have just stunned the guy. Looks like he didn't actually do anything. So in some ways, you not stunning him was actually better for the course of the game. But it should not have been like that. So you're auto-attacking now. So you're trying to push lane. Always focus on last hitting in a case like this more than denying. You've also not skilled your ulti, which is completely fine. You maybe could justify a tree dance level instead of boundless strike. This is kind of a dangerous time to fight. Alright, this is really bad. So your only salvation here, once you get him up to 3 stacks, your only salvation is to hit him a 4th time and land a big stun. As soon as you just try to run in, it's not gonna work. Like Monkey King is a weak hero when he is disabled enough that he's not going to be able to walk away. Because he can't defend himself much if he keeps taking damage, and he's being slowed by things. Because if you're taking damage, you can't use jumps. All you can basically do is stun. So in a situation like this, Monkey King is like an all-in type hero. You basically have to say like, alright, I gotta try to kill him. Because if you had hit him a 4th time, and then use your stun, this guy's going to get really close to dying. Because you'd break all of his Gravekeeper's cloaks, and then he would have low armor. And you basically be able to heal off of him a lot. But because you turned and tried to run, it gives them more time. See, like, all you did there, you basically had to stun anyways because you realized you were about to die. Then you got your Boundless Strike, or your Jingu Mastery, but that should have been done before you stunned. You would have gotten a lot more heal out of it, and possibly killed Visage. So you made the wrong choice in that moment of panic, which is kind of what is happening. It happened also with the Ogre. Ultimately, those are, like, kind of small aspects of why you're losing your lane right now, but your last hitting potential is good enough that, like, you should be able to solve these other problems and go for kills sometimes and be comfortable doing that. Now fighting him is going to be pretty tough because, again, Grave Chill is going to slow your attack speed a lot, and it's also harder to harass him now because he's just going to hit you with his birds. And this is where Visage gets hard. I know you didn't know how to play against him, but laning against him at this point is kind of difficult because he has these like damage dealer units and they just create space between him and you. What you should be doing at this point, instantly be eating a tango. You're missing 300 health. There's no reason for you not to be regenning. If you're missing health, you should be regenning. This would have been a good stun. If you stun this, that bird dies. That would give you gold, and then the Visit only has 1 more bird until his next ulti cooldown, which is a long time from now. This would be a good time to harass him. You've got movement speed. He's on your high ground. His birds are not here. That would mean that you could possibly get a 4 Jingu. Like, you haven't tried this at all, really, offensively. You haven't aggressively tried to get 4 Jingus in a stun. That's basically how you win your lanes. And that's something that you need to identify with all the mid heroes you play. What is like your condition to get kills on them? It's not just about like last hitting and denying well. It's also, can you harass him out of your lane? Therefore, he has to go back to base and heal. Can you also get kills on him to further accelerate you? And you're not taking those opportunities that you have. So it'd be a great time to stun it again. He's under, the bird is under range of the tower. That means if you throw your stun, it's going to take more damage. It's going to be stunned and it's not going to be able to defend itself. And if you kill these birds, you get 100 gold. You're still missing health and not using regen, which is a huge deal. You're basically just focusing your game on last hits and denies and nothing else. And this is probably the reason that you're having trouble in your games, is because you're focusing on the gold aspect, which is good, but you're not doing any of the aspects about winning the game better. You're not like punishing enemies, and you're probably focused just on farm. And if you only focus on farm, that means that your opponents, if they gank more than you, they're going to get more done than you will. And that means that they can pressure you and you won't be able to pressure them. Same thing. All you're doing is focusing on last hits. But Monkey King is partially a snowball hero. You want to get ahead by dominating your opponents in the lane. He's like a lane dominator hero. He's very good at making the game easier for you and your team. Because you should be winning some of these lanes. You haven't ganked another side lane yet. You haven't went for like a boundary rune fight potentially. You just got a tree dance level, which means that even ganking side lanes was pretty much out of the question before this. But again, still, you're last hitting well. In this aspect, you're probably in the 90th percentile of your MMR range, that you're getting almost all of your last hits. But it is, again, it's very important that you do something else with your game than just play a creep farming simulator while my opponents occasionally harass me. Your opponent left the lane, he went to go gank top, so he's affecting the game better than you are right now. You also could have used your AoEs to kill the creep wave faster. That way the catapult died. Let's look at what you're seeing when you decided to teleport here. Alright, they're ganking your Razor's in trouble, maybe he's talking to your allies, you get ready and you teleport. First of all, your teleport position. Your teleporting position, that's kind of far away. If you want, and Razor's pretty close to dead at this point, your teleport would have been better if you went here instead, because then they're going to see that you're coming, and once your teleport finishes, you're right on top of them. Because right when your teleport finishes, even if he lives by then, now it's going to take a little bit of time for you to get in. And it worked out, but you had to use Tree Dance and Primal Spring first. You took that tool out of your disposal just so you could initiate. But instead, you could have potentially spawned in melee range of the PA. I mean, maybe they would have backed and things wouldn't have gone well if you TP'd aggressively, but then you can still chase, Tree Dance, and then pursue in that way, you know? Chasing at this point is not really necessary, in my opinion, because it's difficult, so you kind of just wasted 10 seconds here. What you should be doing is instantly sprinting back to the mid lane to try to get back there. And the way that you're going back is slower as well. You're losing efficiency here. So you lost probably 5 seconds here. Let's imagine you killed a PA. You get these last hits until your allies respawn instead of chasing this ogre, and then you start running this way back to the mid lane. It's faster to go this way than it is to go around. And even if you do go this way, what you should be using is your Quelling Blade to cut one of these 3 trees. Cut the tree here, then you go like this. This is a faster path than this one. It's like a small efficiency thing that's going to increase your farm speed. You're buying Echo Saber now, which is perfect. Now you're heading back to the bot lane because your allies or your enemies are there. And the way you're approaching is really bad. Why are you approaching like this? They see you're coming. What you could be doing instead is start tree dancing. Tree dance from here to here to here. Get ready to initiate as your Dazzle initiates at the same time. But by running in like this, now they know that you're coming earlier on. And you're getting scared because there's a creep wave here. But does it matter? This is a creep wave, man. Look at your farm and your net worth. What are they going to do to you? This PA has what? A phase boots only. The ogre has what? Just a ring of Basilius. He's got almost no mana. You can easily dive these heroes with help from your Dazzle right now. Easily. Because you are a mid hero, you're a higher level than they are. They're what, level 7, level 6? You're a higher level than they are. They're limited on mana. Monkey King is really strong in the early game anyways, so now all you're doing is wasting your time. You've pulled this creep wave over here so that what, you can like farm the camp a little bit more. But again, this should be about winning lanes. What are you doing right now? Running around to maybe catch the Ogre Magi? He's not going to stay there, you know? You should have gone onto the PA almost immediately. Now you're going to have to stun probably to maybe kill her. You're like wasting your opportunities here because you're scared or something. Still fixed when it jumps on this tree. You didn't have jump because you used it on the creeps. Oh, are you going for the courier or something? I guess you were going for courier or something. But as soon as he's fighting here at our tower, you should just walk in and start fighting. I would have stunned him here just to get closer, because maybe it'd allow you to catch up. You're doing the same thing. You're like walking all the way around every time. If you want to chase this guy, you're going to have to go after him. So this whole time, and look what's happening in the meantime. Visage is killing your mid tower because you left for a long time. And it's fine sometimes to go bottom and do these little fights, but it wasn't worth it for you to pull the creep wave to the large camp and keep farming that. Whoever's in lane can handle that instead. It would be better for you to either initiate a gank or go back to laning like you were. Because right now, boom, your tower's dead. And you're getting there too late. And now that your tower's dead, it's harder for your team to defend this part of the map. So these are kind of like fundamental like laning things that you're missing. You're not pressuring your lane enough. You are eventually rotating. See how straightforward this was? It actually did look a little hairy, but once you got the lifesteal and you got the stun, he couldn't do that much actually. So eventually you do make the kill. You could have been doing this in the laning stage. Like there's not really any big difference in your levels or skills really. Like maybe your Boundless Strike is maxed out and as is your Jingu, but he would be weaker as well in those early stages of the game. And now you guys kill the mid tower because you got a kill and you can push the lane afterwards, which is good. But imagine if your mid tower was still alive and then you got this kill. You'd be in a better place. Imagine if you'd killed the PA in the Ogre bottom, which you should have been able, you definitely were capable of doing, you just didn't execute it correctly. Those would have impacted the game in a stronger way. You're giving Razor the lane now. You're getting close to Echo Saber. You're approaching the Zeus. Okay, good, Doug. I'm glad you're tree dancing now. This is good. This is what you should be doing if you want to approach the guy. You do have vision of the bird. You could start walking around this way maybe. Now you're kind of wasting your time because you've stayed top a little bit too long. I would still move in here because think about look at the map layout right now. You have vision because you have a ward up here. You see where both of the heroes are. You've got 2 of your allies in lane. That means you guys together can very likely get kills. Oh my god, this is the worst skill build I've seen in a long time. Holy shit. 2 Fade Bolt max Arcane Supremacy with 4 Null Talismans. But he does have 42% spell amp. Basically, if he steals any enemy spell, it's far better than anything he would ever get. I mean, if he steals Lightning Bolt, he's going to wreck face. Kind of. But holy shit. Okay. So you should be diving here, basically. You should be approaching this for the kill. And you should have gone this way instead. You don't really want to approach it this way, because as you initiate, you basically have to leap just to get up to them. You want to play behind them, because it makes sure that if they retreat to Fountain this way, you're already behind them and they have to run through you. Then you can save your mobility skills and your disables for just ensuring that they stay where they are longer. But when you approach from the front like this, they're likely to have their cameras like this. They're likely going to see you coming. They're more likely to have wards in this area. If you come from behind, like over here, the only vision they had was that familiar basically on the cliff. You could have approached it this way. You could be sitting on this tree, and you could have your allies move in this way, and you can all dive at the same time and fight. But the way that you're approaching this gank is bad. And the time that you're taking to execute it is also bad. It's taking you too much time to do these movements. And that's partially the reason that your farm is not as high right now. So what have you done in the last like 2 minutes? You like ran mid. You killed you got the visage kill. You got the mid tower, which was good. Then you ran top. Then you hid here for a while. Then you're like, this isn't going to work. Then you ran over here and you hid for a while. Is it going to work? Now you're sitting over here. You're waiting for your items to come. This is like a full minute that you could have been pushing out the mid lane, for example. Or you could have just executed this gank already, gotten kills, and then gone back to farming. The tempo between like you having a successful move and a not successful move, like there's a lot of time in between. Is a lot of the issue that's going on with you right now. Alright, you've got 4 Jingu right now. This would be a pretty decent time to go to the bot lane. You could TP bot lane with your 4 Jingu stacks and go gank a guy with Boundless Strike ready. Instead, you're using it to hit neutrals. And in fact, this wasn't even good in any way. Because with this Boundless Jingu Mastery and this bonus damage that you have, if you use your stun right now, it's going to do a lot of damage. You could stand right here, use your Boundless like this, and you could clear all of these 2 camps instantly with just 1 Jingu Mastery stack. And instead, you're doing it the slow way, attacking every creep by itself, which is a waste of time. Nobody's currently farming this wave. Nobody's currently farming this wave. Nobody's currently farming this wave. No one on your team is currently getting lane creeps, which is bad. Somebody needs to be getting lane creeps because it's going to accelerate your team's ability to get the game going in a good way. So effectively, you guys are like not getting enough resources out of the map based on what you're doing. Let's look at your net worth right now. Your net worth is still like towards the top of the game, but it should be in a much better place in my opinion. You grabbed an Invis Rune, so now you're going to go gank top, which I think is fine. This is a good way to spend your time. I wish your camera was watching their hero more. You saw that there was a hero up there on the map, but you weren't looking at them. I didn't know that it was a Sand King necessarily. I didn't know what his health was, for example. You should have just, you should have ground stunned a little bit faster there. He was low enough where you should have just gone for it. This is definitely a kill that you can jump on. It's perfect. A little bit of a weird jump, but it worked. And this is great. Pop a Salvin at the side shop at the shop to get it in your inventory. Heal back up to full. Or what you should be doing is getting ready for the next fight. Get your salve ready, go sit over here, wait for somebody to come, sit on a tree. See if somebody comes, then you can ulti and initiate on them. But instead you keep going behind to where your teammates are, which you don't really need to do. You should be analyzing that, oh shit, I'm a really strong hero right now. I can go get kills, I should be in position. And again, you're not noticing your health is missing. You gotta look at your health. It's unfortunate. You might have spotted that Sand King. If you had wrapped around like you did before, like I just talked about, you would have spotted him probably. Because that's how you should always be looking for kills. You should always be positioning yourself to the side, ready to jump in, especially if you're mobile like Monkey King, or behind. You're ready to roam in this way, go find a fight, find a kill, and initiate for your allies. That way, it doesn't have to be a Drow Ranger finding the enemies, or a Rubik finding the enemies. It can be you find the enemies, they move forward and help you out as you disable them in the backline. Then once you get those kills, you're going to take towers afterwards, because there's going to be dead heroes, and the enemy team is going to be scared to go defend it, because they just killed all of our heroes. How can we defend this now? They're all full HP because I executed that gank well. That's what's not happening. You're not executing your ganks well. And you're also wasting a lot of time in between. This whole time, you still have 2 full sets of regen. You're just now salving. Back to the backpack. Now you're pushing out mid, which is good. This is what you need to do. You got to push mid waves. You got to push waves basically to create action, because it's going to force people to defend these creep waves. And now that this creep wave's pushed out, I knew you were going to do this. You're going to run back to your side of the map. This is the wrong choice to do. You want to stay on their side of the map when you push waves, because as you push this wave, it's going to go here, and somebody on their team is going to go over and they're going to farm it. Because they're like, oh shit, there's a wave by my tower. That's safe. I can farm it. So what you're doing is like barely pushing waves dangerously, and now there's no pressure on this tower at all. This is just a normal creep wave that they can safely farm. And now you're moving over here to go get kills. Well, why don't you do that through this jungle? You could have crossed the river here and entered the jungle this way. Start tree jumping. Start looking for heroes over here hitting neutral camps. Then you could find a hero. The other thing that you guys should be doing is playing around towers. Tier 1 tower is the obvious one bottom. This tower is really easy to dive if you're playing on the dire side, because there's a billion ways to go in. You can go this way, you can run from the back, you can go through here, you can approach this way, you can cut through trees and like hide out this way and jump in. As Monkey King, you can approach this any way you want. You can just hop trees and sit up here. You can see if there's a hero here without them knowing that you're here. And then when your Rubik here pushes out the creep wave, what this does is guarantees that you guys can pressure the tower, and then if people show up, you're going to see them coming because you're hiding in the trees. And then when they show up ready to defend, you drop your ulti, you drop your stun, and then you kill everybody because you have your Echo Saber and you're in position. Like, most of fighting is about vision and good habits about going to the right place at the right time. And you are kind of heading this way, but look how slow you did it. You went here and then you ran all the way over here. You could have just been in the jungle already looking for heroes. It obviously really helps to have wards aggressively in this area as you do moves like this. That definitely helps also, and you are eventually moving down here, but same principle. You shouldn't be on trees by your allies, you should be on trees where enemies might be. You're supposed to be abusing your vision giving services to help your team start a good fight. Vision is what you need. You don't need to sit by your allies. You should be sitting in safe places on their side, like sitting in trees here, that way they're not likely to see you jumping to it. But you don't need to be sitting so much by your team. You're playing scared, basically. And now you're hitting the buildings, which is fine. But now look at this team fight. Now look at this from like the Radiant's perspective. They see all of your heroes. Imagine that they're all waiting behind this tower this whole time. You wouldn't know that because you didn't spot it with your tree jumping. If they want to initiate, they see all 4 of you guys and they can pick targets. If I'm a Sand King, I'm an epicenter here, I'm going to blink here, and I'm going to burrow strike all 3 of you guys in a line. And everyone's going to take a shitload of damage. And if the rest of their team is there, you guys all lose this fight because you're all giving vision. So what you're not giving your team vision here. You're not putting yourself away from your allies. And yes, you're going to kill the tower slightly faster because you're here hitting with them. This is smart, jumping away. Like you're going to kill the tower slightly faster and all because you're hitting it. But what's more important is that you're in position like this to spot them coming. That way you know to initiate. You don't need to be here anymore. There's 3 heroes here to kill this creep wave. You wasted your time doing this. You could have instead gone to the mid lane and started pushing this out. Or started moving through the jungle to go look for another fight. Stuff that isn't happening for you. This is one of the reasons that people like getting the Tree Dance Vision AoE. Because you could be using this right now to help find enemy heroes in the jungle here. You could also be looking at the top lane. Oh shit, there's a lot of heroes top. Maybe I should show up there to help defend the tower, or maybe I should just look there to see what are the circumstances. If you look, you can say, okay, tower's pretty full, Razor's here, he's got full life, here's a couple enemies, this is what items they have. Okay, maybe I can fight. You could teleport here, you could start tree dancing, get here, maybe get on this tree, and then initiate with your ulti and your stun. This is like the reverse situation of what I just looked at in the bot lane. Here's all of these guys hitting creeps, you see where they all are, now it's really easy for you to initiate. Because now you can drop your ulti, channel ulti from tree, drop your stun immediately afterwards. That way your Wukong's command gets out, and then all of a sudden everybody starts taking a buttload of damage. But instead, you're over here hitting a tier 2 tower that really Drow probably could have also hit just as fast. Because really it's about defending towers and defending advantages. And you did eventually teleport here, but look how late you are. And look how you're initiating as well. This is not the way you should be initiating. The best way to initiate on Monkey King is to channel your ultimate first and then drop the stun. And also the teleport should have been here behind the tower. Behind the tree. If they have a ward sitting behind the tower, they're going to spot you with this teleport. If you put it like here instead, there's a lower chance because there's like more trees in the way. Basically, if they had vision from here going this way, they'd see you too. You're jumping on trees to what? Just do a primal spring on what? A bunch of creeps? It's not about the creeps here, it's about the heroes. So what you should have done instead, if he's running this way, let's go back exactly to show exactly how you should have used your skills. You're teleporting in. This guy's in trouble. They're going to be running this way. So what I would maybe do with the power of hindsight, they're all running towards you. I would get on this tree, one of these trees, because that's where he's going and that's where they're chasing. And then when you're on this tree and they initiate on him, because you know they're going to run after him because I started using spells, start channeling your ulti right now. And then as it's ending, as it ends, you stun either the Sand King or the Ogre. And by doing this, it's going to allow the Razor to actually turn and fight. He's still going to die here, but imagine if there's an ulti on these 3 guys right now. Razor's going to be able to fight longer. All of these guys are going to take a lot of damage and get slowed, and maybe you kill at least 2 of them. Instead, what happened was you jump on the creeps, did a small amount of damage here. You did stun over this way, which is kind of good, and you channeled your ulti now, which is fine, because you're going to be able to, like, probably kill the Visage. But you kind of, like, I don't know. You should have probably killed him first, not his creeps first. Because you, like, dropped your ulti. I guess you kind of did fight him right away, but it was kind of weird. I don't know. It was weird. You basically you're a hero that has AoE basically, and you used it on a single dude and his creeps is what happened. Why not use it on the bigger amount of heroes and maybe help Razor? Like Razor's still alive. If you ulti where Razor was standing, you can probably kill at least 2 of those heroes. Yeah, maybe Visage is still going to kill the tower, but he's not going to be able to run into your ulti, for example, without dying there. So now you're going Diffuse the Blade. This is the wrong build. The right build right now is pretty much always Maelstrom. The reason Maelstrom is so good is because you can Maelstrom proc with all of your clones. Obviously, Diffusal Blade is kind of nice too because you're getting mana burn on them, but it's better to get the Maelstrom proc because it's basically going to do a lot more AoE damage within your ultimate area. Your net worth right now is behind Visages, which is not good. Buying your components now for all of your agility items, which is fine, but a little bit unnecessary. You probably should teleport on the map, not run. I would maybe head bottom right now because you can push out this bot wave as nobody else is here. You're running to where the fight is. This is okay, all things considered. Now you're coming here to kill the ogre really easy, which is great. Oh, got a PA stun that guy. Stun that guy, please stun that guy. Alright, that was way late. As soon as he blinked on you like this, you gotta kill this guy. Here, boom, instantly stun him. He's on top of you. You've got Jingu stacks. You got Boundless Strike. Just stun him. He dies instantly. You hitting him basically gives him time to run away. And the only reason he got sort of close to escaping is because you didn't stun him and recognize instantly that he's out of position. Look at all the dead heroes they have. That guy blinked on you. That's crazy. That's actually crazy. You should be approaching on trees. I don't know why you're running at this guy. He's going to see you coming easier. He's not going to let you hit him too much. He's going to dispel your Jingu. It's fine that you zoned him like that, because that's basically what you should have been doing when you're approaching this tower. But there's no reason for you not to abuse Primal Spring to do it, when it's going to be a lower chance that he sees you. Unless you're like really worried that he's going to break your tree or something. But alright, here's a lot of heroes. You know what I would have done this moment? I would have considered setting up on them. Look at the positioning. Here's a hero. Here's Drow running. Look at all these heroes that you can see right now. Look at all these heroes. You could jump to this tree with your ulti and get ready to use your combo. They're running him down. They're going to try to catch him. These heroes running through your creep wave. You could have channeled your ulti right here without them seeing it coming. And just blown them up. Started another team fight. Again, you have to understand when your hero is strong. That way you can take these opportunities to combo well. Like any opportunity where you can channel ulti and stun afterwards, you're going to kill heroes if you have Echo Saber. Or at least it'll provide an opportunity for your allies to say like, oh man, we should maybe go on this. Here's another opportunity that's going to be completely fine for you guys. Works well. You get a kill because you have vision in the area. This is excellent. You should be running at these guys also. You just got a hero kill. Your team should be chasing with you. But what you're doing, you're getting scared because you see enemies showing up here. You should be channeling your ulti. This was crazy. Crazy. You cannot just approach people like this because the only way you live is if you get 4 hits and a stun off for a heal. What you should be doing is jumping on trees and channeling your ulti. But instead you walked in to start slapping. This is crazy without having your bonus armor. You're still probably dead anyways, and part of it is that your allies didn't go at the same time, but you still have to like go in effectively. So you're going to instantly die. There wasn't a Dazzle Grave. Yeah, you can blame him a little bit for that. And the fight still went well because this was a good fight for you guys. But you died for nothing. You basically got no damage off, no disable. All you did was like get your opponents to kill you first, and rather than killing your allies. And that forced your allies to go in because finally somebody on the team said like, hey, the fight is starting. So but what you need to do is recognize this, and this is a huge part about playing Dota. You need to be able to recognize when it is the right thing, when it's the right time to go in. You have to say like, is this a good game circumstance? You had vision, you have trees, they're all grouped up, your allies are nearby. It's a great time for you to go in. And basically, almost nobody at this MMR abuses their heroes extremely well, because if they did, they would have 0 deaths every game, and they'd have crazy good fight impact. Like, your opponents have bad game sense, you have bad game sense, so if you just have better game sense than them, you're going to consistently get a lot of value out of your ultimates and your stuns and your hero, basically. Like, you would have been able, there's like 4 circumstances I've seen so far where you could have channeled a really good ultimate on top of a tree. The only thing that gets scary is if they had a ward on this cliff, and they saw you jumping from tree to tree and they coined you. That'd be really scary. But if you jump on a tree and you can hide there a bit maybe, or turn into a tree yourself, then you could like turn into a tree and like, or walk here, turn into a tree, stand here, and then channel your ulti while you're a tree. They won't necessarily see it coming, you know? All of those things would have been really helpful, because as long as you get your ulti off, all of a sudden you're getting Echo Saber procs all the time. which is hugely beneficial, obviously. This guy finally forced to get telekinesis. Anyways, that's probably enough of the first game. Let's watch the second one. So next game you were playing Juggernaut. Like, playing mid is a lot about dominating with your hero, basically. Okay, you can control the game more, but you didn't do that very well. So it's like, yeah, you farmed well and you got some kills and you eventually you're buying the right items, which is good, and your skill build is right, but you weren't exerting your hero pressure well. So you maybe had the control in your hands, but you didn't use it well. So you could maybe argue that playing mid is not like the ultimate solution unless you do the right thing. And that's honestly the reality with all 5 roles. It's like that with all heroes. If you don't play it right, that's not good anyways. Typically you want 2 tangos and 1 self when you're playing safe lane. And then most players will not get the Ironwood branches and they'll get a fast quelling. But honestly, if this works for you, it's fine. This is like extremely close to very good item builds, and it seems clear that you know what your starting item and skill builds should be. That's definitely obvious. Bounty runes coming. You'll have to block a little bit. Another thing you could have done is bought like 1 less Ironwood branch. That way you know that you're gonna have 200 gold. How many bounties did you get? You only got 2. If you buy 1 less Ironwood branch, you know that you're gonna have 200 gold before the first creep wave comes, and that means that you won't have to do any last hits without quelling. And that's the issue. Your base damage is really low in Jug right now, so not having quelling is a really big deal. Getting a deny. Range creep denies are really, really important. Those are, I would argue, more important than a last hit in the laning stage. Unless it's an enemy range creep, of course, because then you're also losing a lot of experience to not get it. Try not to auto attack too much there. Okay, there's the quelling. Good, good, good. Okay, good. You got your last hits now. Your camera positioning is pretty bad. It's good now, but a second ago it was too high up. Doesn't really show anything, you know. You guys should probably just be killing the Wraith King with stuff like that, with like Maledict. Because if you use Maledict spin, you're gonna get kills. Same thing. Look how much health you're missing right now. You haven't eaten a single tango yet. You're trading hits with the enemy. You're gonna get a kill, which is great and all, but there's no reason for you not to be using your regen slowly. There you go. It's like super overdue. Like you can eat regen in between hitting. Hit him once, move an inch and eat a tree, then go back to hitting him. That kind of stuff is also really good to do. You're spending a little bit too much time on buying items occasionally, when the courier's probably not ready to bring it out anyways, I would assume. Last hitting again is going really well. Missing health, should be using a tango. Excuse me. Oh, not good. Well, he died at least. And now you can buy your items. You got boots. Got your TP ready. You bought more tangos, which I think is probably fine. Do not fault you for this. Now that you've got your Wraith Band, your armor's even higher, your attack speed's better, your base damage is good. This is great. Fine if he wants to do that occasionally. You should start eating a tango. Again, you're missing health. You should be regenning. Still should be regenning this whole time. You should have just spun on that guy. You would have killed him, I think. Actually, I think he doesn't have boots. Yeah, he doesn't. I could tell based on his movement speed. You should realize that with that, you're going to kill him. If you have boots and he doesn't, that means you can chase him down. And he's so low on HP, you can just spin kill him. I don't know why you hit him and ran. And now you should realize, like, oh shit, I messed up. And then again, what you should be doing is clicking on him, seeing what his movement speed is, and realizing you're faster. Like, you 100% could have spun that guy down. Still need to eat tangos. I don't know why you're... Oh, I guess you want the CM damage. Just fine. Alright, he TP'd away. You're tanking the range creep, which is bad. Camera positioning is a little bit weak. I would go a little bit more south, so you can see enemies coming. This is a decent time to fight. Again, Should be eating a tango. There's no reason not to be eating a tango. You can't buy items because you're full. You spun a little bit too early, but it's going to work out just fine. You don't really need to use Healing Ward here. You could have used a salve on him instead, for example. Finishing Magic Wand on Jug is not as important as your boots. Phase boots are better. It's armor, it's attack speed, or whatever. Whether you buy phase or treads, either option is better than finishing a Magic Wand, because this is just mana. And this is basically a 450 or 400 gold item that you're buying. Well, it's 300 because you already have the Ironwood branches, but those have basically been useless because you haven't used them. You put them in your backpack almost immediately because you didn't have space. I would have gone that last hit too. Still missing health. You've been missing 200 health this whole time. It's equivalent to you having just genuinely 200 less max health. If 630 was your max health, this wouldn't be a big deal, but your health could always be higher and you've got the regen. It's a consistent pattern that you're messing up. And by having lower health, it's easier for them to kill you. You're going to be more scared to get last hits because your health is lower. And there's no reason for it to be like this. If you're flying items out, always bring the blades of attack, not the chainmail. You can buy chainmail from the side shop. You cannot buy the blades from the side shop. Hey, look, your health is really low, and you still aren't doing anything about it. Now you're actually threatened to be killed. This is similar as what happened when you were playing Monkey King. Now you're eating a tango when you're at 30% health. You should have popped a salve in already and gotten yourself healed. Like, you should have done this a lot quicker. You're gonna have to spin. Yep. Now you have to use spin just to save yourself because of that mistake. Lost yourself. Your tangos are in your backpack instead of in your inventory. You should have just eaten your mango by now. Eat your mango. Also, you don't have your stout shield anymore because you swapped off your chainmail. That doesn't make sense. Stout shield over mango for sure. Eat a mango. Eat a tango. Swap the stout in because the stout's gonna block a lot of damage. Just because you have chainmail doesn't mean you should give up your stout. Why not have both? Like, you've just given up your authority in this lane to a Crystal Maiden. It's a Crystal Maiden. Dude has, like, no health. He's got 700 health. You could Omni Slash this guy and you die. But you're just letting him do whatever he wants to you because you aren't keeping your health full and also not getting your phase boots quite fast enough. He's just casting Frostbite on you. You're swapping Chainmail out. This is weird. Should have eaten your mango eons ago. Every time this guy walks up, what do? You run away. You're scared. You don't need to be scared necessarily. Realize the situation. You know? Like, what is he going to do? Maybe he's try to stun you? You can always fight him back. You're a pretty strong hero, too. This should be a kill. Yep, just spin on him with Maledic. He dies. Probably not a good Omni Slash here. You're going to... Because she's got 20 extra armor. It worked out because your Zeus came, but if Zeus didn't come there, you're dead. You don't want to Omni Slash her when she has 20 extra armor. It means a lower chance you're going to get a kill. Should have been... This is a good time to mango, drop Healing Ward. Get your Stout Shield in, etc. Shrining is fine too. You need that in, you need your Stout Shield in. Stout Shield, like 50% of the time, it blocks all the damage that creeps deal to you, more or less. That's how that works. Like, all this extra damage you're taking is literally just because you don't have a Stout Shield. It's the only reason it's wrecking. You auto-attack this whole creep wave, you miss like 3 last hits. I get you're buying items, but this isn't a good way to spend your time. A little scared about Meepo, understandably, but you can always spin if things get scary. If you have Stout Shield, you're taking no damage from these creeps. Instead, you're taking a shitload, literally just from one large camp. All Stout Shield related. Now you're not full HP, same problem as before. Crystal Maiden's going to bully the shit out of you, and you're not going to feel comfortable doing anything about it. Boom. She just did a salve worth of damage to you. This should never be happening. This is a fucking Crystal Maiden, man. You should be threatening her life. If she wants to run at you, you're going to maybe spin on her, you know? Like, same thing. You're approaching her in a direction where she sees you coming. She's going to use Frostbite ahead of time. Instead, what you could have done, go here, cut this tree, run this way, approach her, and then, like, run through this hole. Approach her this way. She's not going to see you as fast. When she goes to cast Frostbite on you, use spin. Boom. All of a sudden, she loses, like, a lot of her health. But instead, she's just nuke spamming you. Because all you're trying to do, similar to what you did when you were playing Monkey King, is get your last hits. You're not focused on actually getting kills. Why spin here? She didn't use a spell on you yet. The purpose of spin is not just to deal damage and protect. It's not just to protect yourself. It's also to deal damage. In this case, yes, maybe she's gonna use Frostbite, but did she use Frostbite? She didn't. You're using Phase now. You're chasing. This is good. You're gonna have Omni Slash potentially, but she's got a Creep Wave, and now it ultimately doesn't work out. So now you're back to jungling without a Stout Shield again, and now you're gonna take way too much damage again. It's just gonna offset the damage you're taking. Now you're coming back to the lane. She's playing it safe. She's gonna kill your ward for no reason. Tanking creep waves, taking tons of damage, all because of no Stout. So like you're basically letting her become. She's an offlane hero now, and you've let her be because you're not actually exerting the pressure of your hero. Very same thing as when you were playing Monkey King. It's the same thing. You have a really strong hero right now, but you're not exerting it or threatening or potentially just getting kills. Like CM can die so many different ways against you. You could right click her and then spin until she dies. You can Omni Slash. You can just out harass her. Like she should be scared to get denies, for example. One thing you could also be looking at is keeping an eye on the map to potentially teleport. But part of the problem is you're never having full health because you have a freaking mango in your backpack. This is how you should be approaching her every time. Again, so early on the spin. You don't need to spin this early. If she frostbites you, you just press Blade Fury and it goes away. It's not, she doesn't have a stun, you know? So using Blade Fury this early is crazy. It doesn't increase your movement speed. All it does is make you magic immune. And look how much you wasted. You did almost no damage to her with this thing. Now she's an easy kill if you Omni. Okay, that was 100% a kill. All you do is Omni there and she dies. She maybe uses her ultimate, but now it's messy. Now you don't have vision of her. She's gonna have a creep wave now. Like that should have been a kill. I fucking hate your mango. I hate this mango. It really makes me upset. You're buying the right items. You're getting the right skills. But yeah, the Stout Shield oversight is really ruining your game. Genuinely, you're always at like half HP, which makes you feel more scared than you should be. She's trying to frostbite you because she knows that it's going to put you in like a really threatened position. You can easily solo kill her. All she has, oh, she has a Glimmer Cape now, excuse me. Now the game's gotten really hard, basically. You basically let her free farm in this lane and get levels. She's almost the same level as you. It's also 15 minutes and you haven't left your lane yet, by the way. What should basically be happening at this point, and you're kind of doing it, you're pushing lanes, you're killing jungle camps, and you're rinse repeating. But the problem is that you're never threatening the hero, so there's no downside to her staying. She's getting experience, you're not killing her, and that means that you're not pressuring the tower at all, and you're never like really getting a lot out of your lane. You're just getting about as much as her. Like, let's look at her net worth's like 3,200. She's way less than you, but she's still like relatively farmed. She's got as much as like your mid player does or something like that. Maybe your offlane, whatever this is. Maybe an offlane Zeus. But she's getting as much as he is, even though that was supposed to be Wraith King's job. And Wraith King is also farming as good as you are, more or less. Yeah, he's actually equal to you. So basically, they're getting extra out of this lane than they should have, because you're not threatening this lane. Like, you need to threaten the enemy players with your hero in the lane when you can, and you're not doing that. Same as your Monkey King. That is almost everything that you're missing right now. You know how to last hit relatively well when you're focusing. You know what items to buy. You know what skills to get, but you're not abusing your hero to limit the enemy. And now that he's been able to get this Glimmer Cape, now the only way you kill her is if you get a dust, which makes your game harder and less easy to execute. You probably should have used your healing ward by now, by the way. You're missing so much health. If any hero comes to gank you, you die really easy. Like a Lion Finger of Death would kill you, for example. Using spin there is unnecessary. You could have just put the healing ward behind you and microed it away to start the heal. Cool. He gets the kill. He does the job you should have been able to do this whole time. Like, imagine if you kill the Crystal Maiden like 2 or 3 times in the lane when she tries to come back like that. She's going to stop coming. She's going to have to go do something else on the map. You're getting full farm here, and none of the experience that exists in this lane goes to her. She would have to get that somewhere else. You still haven't used Healing Ward, by the way. You have full mana, you have a Mango, and you have a Drum of Endurance, so it's not like you don't have mana regen. This is ridiculous. Your allies are the ones that are forced to heal you. Got to keep your resources up. You should be hitting this tower. You're extremely safe. You can spin if he throws a stun. His ulti's on cooldown, actually. He's definitely... I don't know if you know this or not, but I'm guessing you probably don't. Gotta hate your mango. Hope you accidentally press your mango hotkey, man. You're trying to save resources too much, basically. This is a big deal. Trying to save your mango resources, you're trying to save... Your mana's full, all this 3.5 mana per second, none of it's doing anything. Now you're gonna spin. Now you're gonna TP home because you're scared, but again, this doesn't need to happen. You're stronger than these guys. You don't need to teleport out of the lane, now you just give up the lane. Lane's dead now. Tower's gone. You could have, like, juked north into the trees, put a healing ward in the trees, leave it here. That way you can, like, peek it out, get yourself some heal. You can stay in this lane, but it's gone now because you left it. So your net worth is really not that high. Enemy team is crushing you guys. You didn't get enough out of your lane. You didn't get kills in your lane, really, that much. So basically, you're just letting them do what they want. And what's basically happening in these games is you're just letting them get as much as you, which doesn't win you Dota games. Unless, like, you farm way better than them. And you're farming fine, but they're going to farm fine too with a Hand of Midas and a Radiance. Like, these guys are also playing Dota relatively okay. Like, 800 MMR in 2019 is not what it was, like, 6 years ago, you know? So at this point, like, you're not actually doing much to affect these games in a positive way, is pretty much the issue. You finally moved your Mango out in exchange for Mythal Hammer. This is actually an okay trade. I don't know if I would have done a spin there instead of just right-clicking myself. And you also could have put the healing ward down to try to keep the Witch Doctor alive. That would have been helpful, I think. But as a whole, I mean, it's good that you went over there. You're buying a dust now. That way you can start killing the CM. She dies because your Zeus has vision. Now you jungling. I maybe would have spun on that one since it was a big stack. And you have the mana regen. Got your Maelstrom now, which is great. Dust for quelling is what you're doing. That way you can get kills. That's reasonable, but the downside is that until you use your dust, you're not going to have as much damage. I don't know what you're doing sitting here. You can be playing in this part of the map. It's not that dangerous. Guess you're waiting for runes. You could have been playing for bounties, for example. Should be just... Again, I don't know. Maybe I would have Omni'd there, but this is fine too, I guess. You can definitely chase this, I think. Luckily that bounced. Should be phasing. Did you use your drum? You did not. When you Omni Slash, you want to use your drum. That way you get 35 attack speed, because your attack speed gets multiplied by the Slash's rate multiplier. So very important to increase your attack speed when you Omni. It's the main reason that people buy drum. I don't know if people do buy drum still, personally. Not sold on that one, but definitely is good if you can get it. Ooh, that's a dust. You have a dust. Alright, that's good. Good choice on the TP. Now you're selling your items you don't need. There's that mango that's forever going to haunt me. This is all good. You could have... Oh, perfect, you stacked. I didn't believe you were going to do it, but you did, which is great. Now you're jungling. You're being very efficient with this. You don't need to pull this out, probably. Definitely always kill the big one first, because of those disables are a little bit scary. You could do healing ward here, potentially. I like that you spent... you should probably just wait and redo it, because it was about to respawn on you. So I just would have hung out here and then clear, instead of what you're doing, which is just waiting over here for no reason. There's no smokes, I don't think. Just you're kind of waiting around. So this is an inefficiency moment. If you do want to power jungle, you did the right thing at first, but then you did this like run around thing and waste your time. Instead, you could have either done that, or you could have ran down here, started pushing this out, because once you push this, you're hitting towers, and you're controlling the jungle better, which is what you guys should be doing next. Now you're kind of running around looking for a kill maybe, but it doesn't seem easy. Again, you're getting scared here by spinning. If you're coming from behind like this, they're not likely going to see you coming. And if you're trying to get a kill like this, what you should just be doing is trying to get like an Omni Slash. Like, you saw the CM. If you just Omni Slash here with drum, you get at least one kill. But now because you've spun early like this, now you're really fucked actually. I think you're trying to Omni this. But she jukes in trees and now you're just dead. Huge mistake. Like, once you spin aggressively like that, They know that you can't use Omni Slash for 5 seconds, right? So all they need to do is stay alive for 5 seconds, and then they can hex you afterwards before you cast anything. So you staying around, once you started spinning, you needed to like get out. You need to like go this way to your team. But by staying around, just trying to commit to the Omni Slash, you just fed your hero. So basically your caution of using spin early because you were scared about them initiate on you ruined your gank. Yes, they maybe could have just done this here as soon as the line was there. It was kind of dangerous. But I think it's more likely that they're not going to see it coming. You just Omni Slash. Like a CM and a line together, those are great Omni Slash targets. If you Omni Slash, Dust, and press Drum, you're killing at least one of those, probably both, and then your team can cross the river. But because you were scared and used Blade Fury, you can't play like that. That's not how Blade Fury works in mid and late game scenarios. It shouldn't be used like that because you're not going to deal enough damage to them. Teammates kind of fighting very weird. All of this could have been done together if you guys all fought together, for example, but I think your Zeus is going to die now too. Yeah. The other thing is when you're spinning, you're not attacking anyways. Like you right-clicking does way more damage than spinning anyways, unless there's a lot of units grouped together. Pushing out top, which is good. Yeah, you should have checked the bounty a little bit faster. You can pretty safely check the other one. I mean, you have to worry about getting ruptured, or even like chain disabled, but I would have gone push this creep wave too. You're playing too defensive here. This creep wave is relatively in the middle of nowhere. You could have easily killed this creep wave, and then gone back. Because creep waves are a lot of golden experience. It's kind of the same as when you're playing Monkey King. You're too scared to cross the river, but you're a freaking Juggernaut, man. You've got Blade. You can always Blade Fury TP. As long as you Blade Fury in time. And if they gank you, okay, you learned something from it. Maybe that wasn't a safe place. Maybe they have a ward, you know? Who's that line mid? Should definitely be running in. Okay, what are we spinning for? You're so scared. You're so scared. He already used both of his disables. What are you worried about? Dust. There we go. Don't know if you needed Omni there, but you should be hitting. You're way too scared. Why is everybody? Why are you running? Why are you running for your life? Look at this. They're gonna have 2 dead heroes. All right, 2 dead heroes. You have a solo. Like look at the context of this fight. You guys initiated. You killed 2 heroes. They only have 3 left. You have 5. Almost everybody on your team is here except for your Ember Spirit. And you finish your Omni Slash and you run for the hills. But your HP is full. You still have a healing ward. Why are you leaving? This guy, he's got an Aegis, okay, but like, you've got a Witch Doctor here. He's got full combos. He's still got Maledict ulti. If you just drop the healing ward like here and then start wailing on this guy, everything's fine. Like, yeah, Zeus is gonna die. But now, because everyone's like getting cold feet, everything changes. Because you're playing scared. But you guys could have committed and killed that Meepo, I'm pretty sure. You didn't stand your ground and fight with your team. Yeah, Ember Spirit wasn't there, but you killed 2. As soon as Maledict hits the Meepo and you guys focus the one low one, you can probably kill him. But you guys kind of let each other down. And now you can't defend, because now your team is dead. Now it's too scary. But like, you have, what, 21 armor? Ricky has 18. How is Witch Doctor supposed to survive if you guys all leave? He's going to get killed instead. You have to be there in the front and gamble your life a little bit. If you put the healing ward down, everyone's healing for 5% max health anyways. And like everything just goes longer. Maybe Zeus gets another round of spells off, for example. But you didn't recognize that it was a good time to fight. This is pretty good. It's a lot of damage. Shouldn't have brought your healing ward all the way in, but that one was fine because they were all grouped up. You wanted to slow down the push. That one was completely fine. You finally ate it. The mango, it's gone. Now you're back to jungling. You should have pushed out the mid lane. Jungling is not as good as pushing lanes. Look at all this free gold. This is so much golden experience. Bottom lane needs to be pushed out shortly. Mid tier 1 tower. This is part of the reason that they have this tower is still alive, is because you guys haven't been pushing mid a lot. You're running away again. They got a dead hero. You don't need this regen rune. Why not get ready, like, hang out here and kill the next creep wave? This could be killed. A little scary, I guess, but... Killing Wraith King over here. You should stay mid. You guys don't all need to beat on there. That's already done. You should be pushing this wave. Okay, you figure that out? I think. Yep. Are you going to get scared, though, is the question. Your team here should be rotating this way. And they should swing around while you push mid, because this is the obvious thing to do. You kill creep wave, you've got creeps on towers. They're going to defend this. This is where you guys fight. You guys have you have dead enemies that they should be swinging through their jungle and getting ready for this mid push. Instead of what's happening, Zeus is like running around. Everyone's doing weird shit. You're grouping up and pushing, which is good. Maybe should have TP'd there to be safe, but yeah, farm this now. Got your Manta now. Now you're really safe, basically, relatively. Because you can get out of E-Blade without having to spin. You could farm this, go push top lane now, for example. Now that your team kind of gave up the enemy jungle. You got bounty runes spawning too. Your illusions, okay, perfect. You're pushing lane. This is perfect. Pushing lane with them. You should probably go Mjolnir next, in my opinion. Ooh, that Hex was big. Big Hex. The downside of the playing against line. Let's go back and watch that fight again from the start. I want to see what happened to your teammates. Ricky's over here. Here's Ember. Okay, so basically they see the Meepo and they're like, hey, it's a Meepo. Let's kill him. Bloodseeker shows up, ruptures, putting all this damage on Meepo, but he's not going to take that much damage. Meepo, Ricky all-ins for some reason, some crazy reason. Then, yep, people are not target firing correctly. Literally just people not using their spells effectively to kill. Should have been able to kill the Ricky, or the Meepo, at least the first time. You get hexed after spin. Did you spin again? What did you spin again as you approached? The same shit as usual? Yeah, like, you keep doing this like spin to approach thing. You don't need to do this. This is a waste. You're spinning just to approach, because it's some danger, but you gotta... It's just a really shitty habit that you're doing. You're thinking like, this is dangerous, I gotta spin in. But like all this time, this Bloodseeker's hitting you, you're not hitting him back. You could instead just like TP in, go hit the Meepo that's low. He dies. Okay, there's a spin, or there's a blood right. Step outside, wait till it explodes, then go back in if you really want to. You can also put Healing Ward down while you're spinning. You could have done that. Put it down over here while you're taking damage. You could use Manta as your Blade Fury was ending, that way it's harder for him to hex the right target. That would have made it easier for you to get your Omni Slash off. But realistically, you should have left the fight, because he was going to respawn on Meepo, and pretty much all of your allies were dead. But still, bad habits. You're always opening with Blade Fury just to approach. That means it removes it as a tool for you to be able to escape. Your overall KDA is pretty atrocious. 3, 3, and 9 is not good. So in a 30-minute game, you've only been a part of 12 of your team's 25 kills. This is mostly happening because you guys don't play together very well, but it's also because like you should just have a lot more kills naturally out of gold advantage and laning and stuff like that. The reason you kind of want Mjolnir usually before BKB is because it's going to make your damage output a lot higher. Oh, that guy. Same shit. You keep getting way too excited about the spin approach. It doesn't do that much damage. It's good. But if they were good players, this wouldn't at all be an issue. You should just be... Again, you're getting scared. You're not fighting to the death. You just, like, start hitting that guy. You don't even get to half HP. Like, as soon as your Omni ends... This guy's got, what, 100 health? Just start hitting him. Press Manta, start hitting the right Meepo, and the fight is over. You don't need to kill this creep wave and then run mid to kill the creep wave. Somebody else on your team is going to do that. Just stay bottom. Kill the creep wave, start running south. You guys are wasting your time. 2 people could be here killing this one person could be here killing this one. But instead, now Zeus is going to have to run all the way over there to deal with it. Or it's just never going to be done, and this wave's never really going to be that pushed out. So yeah, you guys are finally going to get your mid towers, but you could be killing mid tower, the one person down here pushes this out, then after you kill this tower, you could go bottom, for example. So you guys got lost. Minimum, you got less farm out of the map in the meantime, because you didn't need 5 heroes to kill these 2 towers. You could have done it with like 4, for example. And therefore, you would have gotten like, I don't know, 400 or 500 gold pushing this bot lane by yourself. Now you guys should spread out and get farm in different places. You're buying your BKB next, which, like I said, kind of just a waste, because now what's going to happen is you're going to have trouble damage competing against some of them. Doing the same thing, you're spin approaching again. Too scared. Okay, you put healing ward down finally, which is good. Should be trying to help the Zeus, I think. Dude really needs a Nimbus. Why doesn't he Nimbus? Why didn't he Nimbus? You ditched him too hard. Like, you can at least like run up to here and make it seem like you're gonna fight, you know? Like, these guys are actually really low, but you're running for the hills for what? But for what reason? You've got Omni Slash up, you've got Blade Fury up, you've got your Manta up. You're like running away. Why are you running so far? Like, part of Dota is like defending your allies by exerting your hero pressure. You could just stand here and they'd be less likely to fight you because you're running at them as a Juggernaut, and then maybe Zeus lives, you know? But you're too worried about feeding or something. Not sure. Like, your passivity is forcing you into a place where you're not going to get ahead because you're not taking any risks, ever. But you're wasting tools, defensive tools, that could be used to make plays, you know? Or to be used at a better moment. Now you're running back bottom again. You don't really need to use this Manta to push this. This isn't a dangerous area yet, in my opinion. I think it's a little overkill. You're also not A-clicking. Like, you moved them here to kill creeps, but then you have to also shift A-Q, A-click, farther away. Because now you only killed 1 creep wave with them, which isn't very good. You've also crossed the river now, and now you should go straight to the camp. Okay, that's good. I maybe would have killed this on the way, but this is ultimately the right choice. Alright, you've got your BKB now. Ultra safe. Overkill, but ultra safe. I would push another creep wave. You can see that almost all of them are top. You can easily kill another wave here, or use your Manta to do it. Instead, you run back for your BKB, but what's the point? Bring the courier to you, push out this creep wave, and the fight's about to start, you can TP. This is one of those things that's going to lower your farm rate by a lot in the long run. Like, you actually just walked all the way here to defend. What's the point? You could TP last second. If the fight's about to start here, teleport. Whole creep wave. This is like another 500 gold. You kill the next wave, another 500 gold. And then if they still aren't pushing, boom, you're still down here and you can pressure the 2-2 tower. But instead, you're crossing the entire map when your Ricky's dead for what? Just to like Omni Slash 5 heroes? And again, you do another spin initiation because you're scared. Doesn't have to be like this. What's the point? I don't know. Like, you don't get hexed, I guess, but this isn't a good way to spend your time. Omni Slash is gonna actually be okay, all things considered. Don't think this was the right time to fight to the death, but it's gonna work out. You shouldn't. You're standing on top of people too often as well, and like right-clicking them as if it's going to be. This was good that you came out, as if it's a good trade, but it's still, again, it's 160 magic per second. I guarantee Bloodseeker does more than that. He attacks twice per second. He does 250, so he's dealing like 300 physical damage per second by just attacking you. You should be chasing here, I think. Well, the spin approach kind of worked this time. And he has Aegis all the time. You shouldn't have manted here. You should have held it. This is all good. Right-clicking. Spin is a little bit weird, but it works out fine. Okay, cool. Now that's the whole enemy team dying. You guys should death push and get a Rax, probably. Although there's going to be respawns, it looks like. probably didn't need to use Manta there, because it's not going to push the creep wave that much faster. You could have saved to use it like here, for example, for vision or something. Or you can save it to try to dispel frostbite or something. You're burning the Manta a little bit too much. I don't think you needed to run for the hills. You probably could have tried to kill this guy. It's not like your allies aren't here, you know? Just gotta kill the creeps. You're running in a really weird place. You're like scared about the skeletons or something. Healing ward, spin. You're fine. Resume jungling. Never mind, run away. You need to set a hotkey for your healing ward. You're not doing a very good job keeping it out of danger. Don't think you really needed a Manta to push that. Like, it's better to clear creep waves than Manta and send the illusions forward to kill the next one is generally what's better. But you're kind of just using it to slightly increase your damage, and then you're just ditching the wave, kind of. It's like I don't know, it's just kind of slow how you're doing it. It's not really making the item that useful, because you're not microing it well enough to really justify it. It's kind of the issue. This is unfortunate. You're really close to Mjolnir, but you don't quite have it. There's no more creeps to kill. Hey, free kills. Where is the Zeus ulti? There it is. Alright, looks like everything here is cleared. Now you're chasing with spin, which is good. You should stop moving and put healing ward down. Perfect. Still haven't stopped moving. Still haven't stopped moving. You're still taking rupture damage. Just stop moving, put the healing ward down, then you're fine. Alright, you guys win the fight again. There's a gem on the ground. You got your Mjolnir coming. Somebody should push out all the lanes. You got bottom, that's good. Like, you're doing the same thing. What? These aren't gonna clear the wave. Where are you going? What are you doing with your hero in this meantime while your illusions slowly push this? Like, compared to your hero, it's completely different. You're looking for hero kills? One person needs to push this. You can push it rapidly and fast. But instead now you're running around the map to get like one kill. What's the point? Look at all this time you're wasting. This creep wave is barely moving now. So now, even though you guys won a big team fight, you're not actually able to put pressure on because it took forever for you to kill these two creep waves. Because you're running around in circles trying to kill like one guy. Feel free to have like one or two people go for these kills. But look how much waste that was. That was easily a tier 2 tower. Easily. If you just sit here and auto-attack these waves till they all die. But all you did was Manta and say like, oh, it'll be fine. So you just spent time, which you bought with a good team fight, to waste. You wasted it trying to get that kill. But you just should have been pushing the wave. Push the wave, you get yourself an extra 500 gold, and then your team just gets directed to kill the tier 2 tower. But instead, your opponents lose nothing for making that mistake. You have to punish your opponent's mistakes, and you didn't do that because you didn't push the wave. Because you ran off through the jungle to try to get a kill on a guy that might not even be there. I don't even think you guys had vision when you started running over. And even if you did, it probably wasn't worth it for you to come over. Because that was an opportunity to push and farm. You better keep pushing. Not run off into the jungle. Run up, push the creep wave. Doing the same thing, you're manting right away. I would kill the wave, I would keep running, I would manta here, and then push it down to kill the creep wave here. But now by the time they get there, they're out of time already. Your manta has effectively done nothing to use it in that way. Alright, looks like there's a fight bottom. Should be considering teleporting. Alright, you're manting now to push that out, which is fine. But again, you don't really need to use it here because this isn't that dangerous of a place. Your team is legitimately about to take a fight. You should definitely be back by now because it looks like it's engaged on for sure. Yeah. Figured it was going to happen. You have good vision. So you guys might as well take a fight. Again, you're spinning to approach. You don't need to do this. You got ruptured again. You got to put a healing ward down. Okay. Got the healing ward. You need to like Omni Slash or something. Okay, good. Okay, everything looks good. Now you just got to kill this guy. BKB was unnecessary. So CM invis, you just got a dust. Okay, you got the dust. Cool. Alright, you guys win. Now you need to push the lane. Where are you going? Where are you going? You're going mid? Works, I guess. Just need to like sprint down mid and push this. Sprint down mid, sprint down mid. Using Manta again. Okay, there's a regen. This is justified. Oh god, get the regen. Go push. What are you doing? You should be here, hitting creeps. What are you doing? You guys aren't giving yourself an opportunity to win the game because you're not pushing lanes. Why are you jungling? Jungling doesn't give as much as neutral creeps. There's dead heroes. Like, I get that you guys want a team fight in your base and you had to push out lanes, so it's not easy. But you could have been pushing bottom with Ricky, for example. If you're gonna go push mid instead of bottom, what's the point? Just if you're gonna leave halfway across the map because you get scared. You're giving up any chance to win the game with your play, is what's happening. That's all. You're just not giving your team a chance to win. And it's not going to happen because you're not getting anything out of the punishes. You're winning team fights, you guys have way more kills, but you're not getting anything out of the map. So you're never going to get Roche control. You're scared to push creep waves. You can kill this creep wave, you're going to be okay. But you guys are scared, so you're going to lose this game, I'm going to assume, at this point. I just don't see a reality where you guys don't lose. Because you're winning the fights, but eventually you're going to lose a fight, and that's when they end the game. But you're never getting anything out of your push wins. And that's because you're never confident to push these lanes. And because they're super creeps, if you don't push them a lot, like, you have to kill like 2 to 3 waves to make sure that your lane can push. Because you're never killing more than like 2 waves, it just always counter pushes on you, and they never leave your side of the map, which means your opponents always have like full map control, more or less. They have like 70% of the map to farm. They always have Roche control. And they just have better vision as well. And if they do take fights, it's always going to be on your side of the base. So simply put, you're likely going to eventually lose the fight and just instantly get raxed. So once again, you guys wait. They will push, they will cross the map, they will take another fight. Maybe you guys will win this, who knows. Here comes another fight for you guys. Looks like it's going to be good. Where the heck are you? Sitting in the back. You haven't done anything yet. Still haven't done anything. Still haven't done anything. Your spin approaching again. Which is late. Where'd the Bloodseeker go? Oh, there he is. Like you just Omni Slash. Like, let me show you the moment that you should have gone in. This is the moment that you should go in. The fight has began. Seems user ulti. Your allies are hitting the tower, and look where you're standing. All the way back here. You got a BKB. You're gonna be okay. If you really want to approach, just BKB run and use Omni Slash or something. Or move over here and kill these guys. So Omni Slash is good. Didn't actually do that much damage though, I must say. Healing ward goes down, good. You're not target firing the right meepos. The reason you're having more success with Blade Fury than right clicking is because you're not target firing the low meepos. You're just kind of picking one and attacking him until he dies. But you got to target fire the low ones. All right, you guys win another lane, another fight. What happens? Are you gonna push the lane that far? You're gonna buy your. You could have bought the whole thing. Could have just bought the whole damn thing. I don't know what you're... Guess you want to buy back? Yeah, you want to buy back. Alright, you guys are finally pushing good. But by the time you get here, they're almost alive. That's the penalty for not pushing lanes. You should be wailing on these towers, but you played it too safe, in my opinion. That was good. And you got a nice play on them, but they're not really all here. Like, sometimes you need to make kills like these. You know? You need to, like, get kills like that when they're respawning. That way you can get the tower. But you're just always kind of playing scared. Alright, you've got your Scotty now. I would have preferred Butterfly, because they have almost all melee heroes. Butterfly, or Scotty's better against ranged heroes. If you go Butterfly, you're evasive against all the Meepos, the Wraith Kings, the Bloodseekers. Butterfly was easily the better option, and it would give you a lot more damage too when you use Omni Slash, because it gives you way more attack speed, and damage too. You have more HP, but your build is overly defensive, for sure. Camera positioning sucks right now. You shouldn't be looking at your hero, you should be looking at what's coming. Your camera should be here. You should know that your hero is about here. But it's more important to see opportunities. Oh, this is what enemies are here. That kind of a thing. But instead, you're just always looking at your hero. You might as well lock your camera, practically. You didn't really need to use Manta just to push the wave out, in my opinion. This is like one of those moments where it's good for one of your cores to go top and push it out. Push it out safely, and then be careful about getting ganked. If they do that, they can split push and threaten this tower dies. But because you guys are always scared about the impending fight, you all sit here, which means that this is like the same problem. Nobody's ever pushing waves out. You're all just sitting around waiting for the fight to start, rather than one person teleporting. Ember could be top easily. You can put a remnant down, teleport to the creep wave top, push it 2 waves, and then come back. And then do it again when his BOT is up. Or you could go top, push the lane, and then teleport when the fight starts. All of these things are how you guys win this game and get control. But because nobody pushes waves out very aggressively, even when you do win fights, you're never gonna. This game is over. I just don't. I don't see a lot of circumstances where you're gonna win this game. You're eventually gonna lose this one. Wait, you're scared to go in here? I don't know why. You could just run in. Healing ward, healing ward. Still taking rupture damage this whole time. Still taking rupture damage. You're gonna die to rupture. Oh no. I don't think you realize you're ruptured. Alright, so you win the fight again. But your team is pushing out. Let's take a look at things. Pushing out, finally killing towers. Cool, got a tier 2 tower. Now one person goes to push top, and that is the extent of your victory. So you guys get 1 tier 2 tower. Nobody pushes top out. What's going to happen? The creep wave dies. It's basically like if you guys don't see the creeps, you guys don't remember that another one is going to come. You kill the creep wave, and then everyone's like, well, that's it. I killed the creep. Let's go do something else. Oh shit, here's another creep wave. And then they're like, oh, now I got to run back top again. Push the wave, keep running. Push the wave, keep running. Push the wave, keep running. Push the wave. All right, you did your job. Now the creep wave's over here. If you do that on 3 waves, the game is over. Because when you win the next fight, it's over. You're on their side of the base. You kill 2 barracks. Now you don't have to worry about this pushing shit, but you're not doing anything. So this is basically what's happening. This is why you guys are at this MMR right now. Even if you kind of know how to use your heroes, what's happening is nobody is effectively pushing the lane out, and it never gives you guys good opportunities. Hey, here's a fight. You got a CM kill. Let's see where you go with your hero. You should just keep going. Next creep wave. Cool, it's dead. Should keep going. Next creep wave. Kill it. Hey, look, your team is killing without you. You're basically finally doing what I'm telling you to do. It's almost as if you're here in the room with me, even though this was from the past. There was a buyback. I don't think it's terrible for you to back here. I would have probably used Manta, though, and send it down here to keep pushing. But what you just did was basically what I need you guys to do to actually win this game. Otherwise, you're never going to win this game. You're back to jungle. I would still play in this area. I want you to basically hang out and push these waves when nobody else is there to push waves. I'm glad you crossed the river, but you need to push this wave. It's right here. Look at all these skeletons. What are you guys doing? Trying to get Roche? What matters is pushing waves, not necessarily Roche. You are solo Roshing, which is probably not good. There's spin approaching again because there was a line, which is semi-okay in this case. You're kind of using Manta at the wrong time. You need to Omni Slash somebody. Pop BKB now. I think this is where your team loses, maybe. Probably needed to save your BKB, I would argue. You should be hitting this guy here. Okay, cool. Hey, you guys want another team fight? No Glimmer? Hey, you guys won. What? And what are you doing? You're Roshing. Who cares? They're all dead. Go push buildings instead. You can't even roast that fast because you don't have butterfly. So now, hey, you guys want another team fight? What are you doing with it? Taking an advantage you probably don't even need. Could get an Ags. That's kind of cool. Wait, who just... Oh, you're giving it to somebody else, I'm guessing. Alright, wave's getting pushed out very slowly. You should keep going. Here. Okay, cool. Hey, look, they're all alive now, because you wasted your time Roshing. Now you TP'd back. Oh my god, how long does this game go on for? Alright, you got Ags now. That's kind of nice. Lower cooldown. What else is the other benefit? More duration? Increases duration, decreases cooldown. Okay. Separation. Okay, it's an extra second. God, you have so much money. DD ready. You guys need to be pushing creep waves. Look at the creep wave position. This tower's like invulnerable effectively. You got a DD. This is going to be a great ultimate. You did have to spin that time. I would use Omni Slash. Oh, you BKB. That works too. Oh, they're going to get megas. Interesting. Oh, you are going to die. You have Aegis. You should just fight to the death here. Cool, you killed everybody. Hey, there's a rapier on the ground. What's going to happen? Nothing. You're still going to lose. Because you guys are scared to push. What are you doing? You're wasting your time. You're going to go death push mid, and I think you guys are going to die now is what's about to happen. If I had to guess. Butterfly should be in over cheese. You don't need cheese. You have Aegis. Hey, they're alive. Megas are up. You guys don't push, so game's over now. You're going to lose. I can see it coming. Should have turned in fought. Hey, diebacks. Hey, they're all dead. Cool. Doesn't matter. No. You got your cheese. Your Aegis is gone. Shit, why aren't you pushing this? To grab a rune? What's the point? Why are you grabbing a rune? Why are you running over here? To buy a moon shard? Is that really going to make your hero that much stronger? What matters is pushing creep waves, not like... Scared. What is this? Why are you pushing with illusions? What is this? All to get a DD that you're not going to use? This is actually very frustrating to watch. So you're just letting them win. You guys have been letting them win for 40 minutes. You have a 34k gold advantage, but you're not going to win. Finally pushing. This is good. That's what you should have been doing all game. Hit the tower. You have done it. You finally hit the tower. Alright. Are you going back now? Yeah, this is the right thing to do, I think, to go back now. You almost died. Hey, they all died again. Cool. BOT is what you need next. That way you could like TP top right now and start pushing it instead of having to cross the whole map. But you guys are pushing, which is good. You should still be pushing 3 dead heroes. It's only a Bloodseeker and a Meepo. They can't kill you. But what are you doing? You're checking for Roche again. What does Roche do? My god. How long is this game? Could BKB and Omni Slash here. Shouldn't have spawned. That was definitely the wrong move. Now you're dead. Huge mistake. If you're silenced like that, you just need to Omni. Or you need to BKB and Omni. Let's see if you buy back here. This guy definitely can't Roche solo. This time you died. You probably should have bought back, I think, to get shit done. But again, team is gonna feudally, slowly push out. I have morbid curiosity about you. How long it takes for you guys to lose this game now. Hey, they get Aegis. You guys probably feel like you lost too much advantage, but in reality, it's just you guys lost an Aegis, I guess, or Ags upgrade, I guess. But almost everybody has it anyways. You guys trying way too hard to defend your base, basically, is what's happening. That guy just got killed. Manta there, send illusions mid. Would have been decent. Pushing top is what's good. This is good. Where are you at? Could just Omni Slash this. You're doing the same thing. You're spin approaching for some reason. Just need a good ulti. Now you're dying to Rupture. This is not going to go well. They're just going to kill your throne now. Game ends here. Yep, knew that shit was happening. If you don't push the creep waves, you are never going to win the game. You're never going to win the game. And you guys never push the creep waves. All you did was sit as 5, scared about the fight going bad. But you had 0 chance to win the game because nobody ever pushed the creep wave. You had 0 chance. You won every fight. You had a massive gold advantage. Look at the net worth advantage. You guys had a 30,000 gold advantage, but you had no chance to win the game. You won every single fight, but you had no chance to win the game because nobody pushed a creep wave because you were always scared that you had to be there at the fight. You can be 5 seconds late. You can be 10 seconds late. But the next meta that you need to develop is pushing lanes. Like you have to push the lanes or you're going to lose. It's that simple. That's it. Thanks for watching. Thanks for signing up for replay coaching. I hope that helped. Fingers crossed. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. All right, goodbye.